Yo. You there?
Yeah.
Hey, what happened? Did we go live again? Are we back?
Yep. They can totally hear you.
Good.
Hey, we're back.
Made it.
Yeah, we're back. Figured we'd hit the algorithm again because, you know, we started this at 6 in the morning on the West Coast. And once you've been doing it for an hour, it's really hard to find. So, you know, we just... plus, I boo-boo kittied and you timed out, so I had to...
That's my fault.
No, it was actually my fault. I do dumb things sometimes.
Everybody does.
Especially when, you know, it's early in the morning. I didn't sleep particularly well.
Me
I
neither.
was
Listen, my body just wakes me up at 7 o'clock now. No reason, just does. It's
oh,
like,
it's
you're awake
awful.
now.
Oh, it's the worst. You get used to a sleep pattern, and then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Now this is what I do. I'm a person that gets up at this time, and that's awful.
I guess we're just awake in the morning now. That's all.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm not a fan of it. So we're back. We've discussed a lot of the things. We're more than happy to answer questions for a second time because we know, you know, people come in and out. We're hoping that, you know, that we boosted the algorithm because so many people that watch the show were asleep when we started this.
Yeah.
And even if they woke up, this Jacksonville Jaguars, Atlanta Falcons game may very well have put you back to sleep. It's 10-0, and the Atlanta Falcons would probably not have gotten around the room that I'm sitting in with the number of yards that they have gained.
Can we stop sending teams to London?
I get it. I mean, trust me, I hate getting up this early, especially on Sundays. This is one of the only 2 days I get to sleep in. And yesterday I did the same thing that you were just talking about. 8 o'clock rolled around. Nope. Get your fat ass up.
I'm up.
And that was how my yesterday went. And then I made all the monies on college football.
So it's worth it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Gage Camplin asking about a Aiden O'Connell lineup with O'Connell, Christian McCaffrey, Zach Moss, Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman, Marvin Mims, Donald Parham, Puka Nacua, and the Browns.
That sounds about correct.
I wouldn't run O'Connell naked, though. I would want to have a receiver for the Raiders because if O'Connell is
Pittman for Myers,
that's what I would do. You're in the exact same boat that I was.
We've done this in one.
So as people are matriculating back in, because that's, you know, it's how we roll here.
Yep.
Is there any game that we haven't talked about yet that you think merits discussion? I mean, Chiefs,
yes.
Jets, I would love for somebody to explain to me why that line keeps getting smaller. Because that just makes not a damn lick of sense to me.
Which game?
Jets, Chiefs. It's down to Jets -8.
I still see 8.5, but I wouldn't touch it anyway.
I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't. I'm on Kansas City. I don't care if it balloons to 13.5.
Kansas City over 41, all by Kansas City.
I don't think they're scoring that many. They scored 41 on the Bears. I don't think they're scoring 41 on the Jets.
They're not. The only shootout game, the 53.5 for Dolphins Bills is kind of crazy.
That's too high.
I'm looking at the Steelers Texans and wondering why we're not. What are you afraid of in that game? That it's just a defensive struggle
with the Steelers and the Texans?
Yeah.
No, I don't know that there's anything that I really want.
See, I like Tank Dell.
I like now. I'm glad you said that because Tank Dell is one of my favorite plays on DFS for the day.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who in the hell is supposed to stop him. I think the pass rush is going to get there early and often, and that leads to a lot of more dump offs and things like that. I have a good amount of Tank Dell, and he's cheap.
I like,
and he's still cheap as hell.
So cheap.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about that yet. Tank Dell is like the layup easiest spot in your lineup.
I agree.
That's the only thing that worries me about Aiden O'Connell is I'm not sure you have to do it.
You don't.
Like, I'm struggling to spend all the money that DraftKings gave me. Because I want Puka Nacua because I have absolutely no idea how anybody's going to stop him for Indianapolis.
Right.
I mean, you just look at that game where Nacua lines up. They move him all over the formation. And then you get to who's going to stop him?
Do you want to hear something kind of crazy about this? So the difference between DraftKings and FanDuel, we're a DraftKings family.
100%.
At Sportsocracy. But
about to become a much more DraftKings family.
I do have
little tease.
FanDuel. You're cutting in and out. I keep losing you.
It's because I'm smoking my little douche flute and I keep muting my mic.
Okay. Stafford's 6,600 on FanDuel.
That seems really low.
It's really low. Just so you that's under C.J. Stroud, under Kenny Pickett, under Mac Jones.
I mean, hell, he's 57. He's 5,700 on DraftKings. Literally on DraftKings, you can have every player I have repeatedly told you to play, and still have $14,000 for your last two, which could easily be Stephon Diggs, who I told you I was really high on earlier. Could also be Christian McCaffrey, because let's face it, who the hell for the Cardinals is going to stop him?
Nobody.
I mean, and that's where I'm at. Is all right. So I got 4,900 just with a build that I'm using here. I got 4,900 left. Yeah, guess what? That's what Roschon Johnson cost. And I'm just looking at that bill going, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I like it a lot.
Pretty happy with it. It's just crazy. That's crazy talk to me. It's just funny to see the difference between pricing.
Oh, yeah. I've always preyed on the difference in pricing. I will every week look at who is too expensive on one versus the other and use that against them.
Yeah, you kind of have to when you're building a lineup. You kind of have to. You need to look at where does the dollar make sense? Where doesn't it make sense? Like right now, we talked about it earlier, and if you missed that, Miami Dolphins are priced at 70 point team. They're priced as a team that's going to put up 200,000 yards of offense.
Yeah, which is insane because they're not going to.
No. Could they have a good game? Sure. Yeah, of course they could.
And I think they will. It just gets to a point of, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I'm tinkering, which is always dangerous.
Don't tinker. I have two rules in DFS. You can play a quarterback naked if you have to, but I prefer not to play a quarterback naked. And tinkering is that's the devil's lettuce. You want to avoid that.
Tinkering is a bad thing. It's a thing you don't want to do. That's a thing I find myself doing a lot.
Yeah. You'll tinker and then you'll realize, why did I do that?
Why did I do that? That was dumb.
That's a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that.
It was dumb. I shouldn't have done that.
But then you done did it, and now you're dealing with it. So
I always hate when I get to a point where I'm like, I keep coming back to the exact same thing, and I don't know why I keep doing that.
Can't help it.
Matthew Hoffman said the only college game he missed yesterday was LSU. I had Ole Miss. And let me give you a little teaser for tomorrow. The SEC sucks.
They don't play defense anymore, do they?
Good God. Yeah, can we stop talking about the SEC's the best brand of football? No, it's not. It's the Pac-12, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
By the way, was USC Colorado not the most predictable shit you've ever seen in your life?
Of course it is.
I literally was telling Amy, she's like, but you're on Colorado. Mm-hmm. Give it time. Give it a minute. And now, did I think it would go as drastically as it went? No. And Dion figured out something. Let me give you a solid piece of advice. Outside of those really good teams in the Pac-12, yeah, bet Colorado.
Colorado they were only projected to win 3 wins. I keep seeing people say that they're
Overrated.
overrated, and I'm like, over a 3-win team? No, they're properly rated over 3 wins.
Correct. Yeah, they're going to end up in a bowl game. And that bowl game is going to be nanners.
Yeah. Pick your favorite upsets today from Kevin the PRF. Titans, Patriots, or Giants?
I'm not taking the Giants. I'm not taking the Patriots.
Nope.
My favorite upset of the day.
What's upset city looking like?
I mean, technically it's an upset. Probably the Bears over the Broncos. I don't like a lot of upsets today. I think this is going to be a chalky-ass day. I really do. I mean, I'm struggling to find any upsets.
Colts are a pick 'em, basically. It's a 1-point favorite.
Am I crazy to think that's the shootout game of the day?
No, you're not.
I think you're right.
Are you?
The only problem is I can't find a piece of the I can't find a piece of the Colts that I want outside of Zach Moss.
You could play Richardson. He's back.
Yeah, but he's also expensive as hell. He's $6,700 on DraftKings, and I'm just.
For why?
I don't know, because he hasn't been great. He hasn't run. I mean, he's rushed for 3 touchdowns, and yes, he was headed to a really good game before he got hurt against the Texans.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see the stat yesterday that came out that said no player in the NFL this year has come back the same week from a concussion?
Really?
Really. The last one to do it was Kenny Pickett in week 6 of last year. Every other diagnosed concussion, the guy has missed the following week.
Of course they have. That's smart. Take your time, get better. Concussions are weird.
I've had 3 of them, trust me. I've had 3 of them. They're not great.
Nope, they're not. No, thank you.
Gage asked Josh Downs or Marvin Mims in my single entry. I would go Marvin Mims.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the benefit of Josh Downs, don't get me wrong. I had him last week, and he was good.
Yeah.
Jonna with a choose 3 half PPR. DJ Chark, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins.
I will bench Chark.
I like DJ Chark today. I almost want to say bench Garrett Wilson.
Half PPR.
Yeah, see, the half PPR is what puts me on Chark. Because I could see him only having 4 catches, but 2 of them could be for 35 yards each. Hopkins, they just don't have anybody else. And they're going to have to pepper him with targets because it's him and Nick Westbrook-Akina.
Yep. Garrett Wilson's going to he's going to break one. Every game, he breaks one.
It's a lot of faith for Zach Wilson to get him the ball, and I just don't see it.
One time. I get it, though. I get where you're at.
Oh, and the Atlanta Falcons in your sweet Toy Story bullshittery game. 8:03 left in the second quarter, and they have 29 total yards. Their leading rusher is Tyler Algier. 3 carries for 4 yards. Hot.
Yeah.
Ugh. Jonnu Smith is the leading yardage guy for the Falcons. 2 catches, 22 yards. Let's go.
I didn't know he was still playing.
Oh, yeah, he's with Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
because they just love each other. So yeah, Jonna, I will sit Garrett Wilson. He will sit DJ Chark.
Yeah.
I have no faith in the Jets. I think they're going to get the shit beat out of them. And I don't think the score is going to be all that ugly. I could easily see it being like 20-3.
Sure.
Colin Greene, best running back play of the day.
The best, Christian McCaffrey.
He's the one that I think scores the most points. In
Best
terms of point per dollar,
Jerome Ford.
I like Jerome Ford a lot.
Josh Jacobs.
I like Josh Jacobs a lot.
Can't get away from that.
I like DeAndre Swift a lot.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is the one I just keep coming back to and going, I think that's a free spot on the wheel. I mean, Washington's front, yeah, I know it's good. I'm not sure I couldn't run behind that Philadelphia offensive line, and DeAndre Swift just has way more burst than everybody else.
Yeah.
In terms of another cheap one, I don't like a lot of super cheap today, but I do like Roschon Johnson as a cheap point per dollar guy. I'm just going to – you know what? I'm just going to put Roschon Johnson in this lineup and stop looking at it. Because he fits, and I don't have to do anything else.
Then you leave it.
There we go. Let's just call it good. Be done. Be done with it. Be done with it. Go win my $1 million and I'll be all hunky-dunky.
Listen, I just want to put this out there. If anybody ever wins the millionaire on advice that we've given, please feel free to come and tell us.
100% come and tell us and maybe write a little check. You know,
maybe
shows your
little super chatter in there for Jeremy and Tanker.
Shows your appreciation. Oh yeah, throw a $10,000 super chat just to break my brain on camera. That would be hilarious.
What's the biggest dollar amount you can put in a super chat?
I don't know.
I'm looking.
I was about to say, I think I'm gonna have to Google that.
Five Hyundai is the largest one I can put in.
Maybe throw in like 40 of those.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, speaking of,
if you hit a millionaire, it's just remember who your friends are.
Speaking of things you can,
and I accept American dollars. Don't worry.
And I accept Canadian dollars. Speaking of things you can purchase, our Beer Cities Football Club shirts, which are right over my shoulder, those will be on the website hopefully tomorrow. Apparently that doesn't work exactly how I thought it did. We drop ship all of our merchandise. So if you order it, I've actually never seen it. This is from a different company that will be doing our stuff moving forward. These are the softest shirts on the planet Earth. I gave my father one, and he literally sent a check with my mother because he wants all the colors we have.
I like it. Mom
said that he took it off yesterday morning. She washed it. He put it right back on. It's like, that's a good shirt.
Yeah.
We've got the lovely black. We got the Florida State red. There's a teal and a blue. And once those are purchased, we'll buy more. We'll just keep doing it. We price those where we pay for the merchandise, they send it to us, and then you get it for the low price of whatever we paid. Oh, and Desmond Ridder sucks at football. That's pick 6. To the house. Darius Williams, 61 yards, and it's 17-0. Man, that's a good call by me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Take Atlanta. Atlanta's good. Or maybe they suck on ice.
Or grass or turf or whatever they're playing on over there.
Ugh. Atlanta's good. Awful. God, Atlanta's bad. At what point do you just go, fuck it, and put in Taylor Heineke? I mean, like, you got to do that at some point, right?
Last week.
I mean, but I think that time in this game is right now.
Yeah, you might as well. What do you got to lose?
Oh, I mean, you're getting a hell beat out of you.
He is a fine quarterback. Like, he's okay.
Well, you're getting a hell beat out of you. Taylor Heineke throws a terrible pick 6. As of right now, Kyle Pitts and Drake London combined have 2 targets, and none of them went to Kyle Pitts.
Somebody free Kyle Pitts.
Oh, yeah, somebody please just go trade for him.
But the Falcons won't do it.
No.
That's the problem. The Falcons are like, we like our guy. And it's like,
do you, though?
Then use him.
Do you like him? Because you don't seem to like him. You seem to just look at him and go, screw that guy.
They're like toy collectors. They're like, it's mint in box. We don't want to hurt it. We'll keep him untouched.
It's confounding to me, these teams that draft guys like that and then just keep them in mothballs.
You're a superstar tight end, most talented player we have on our team. I think we should never target you once.
Oh, I love when we put out videos and they go viral, and it's me saying something really stupid, which is, hey, you should take the Atlanta Falcons because they're good, or I'm an idiot.
Well, you know, you get to...
I haven't been able to bet. Look, I'm just going to give a fait accompli here. This is the worst year of betting NFL games I've ever had. I needed a week this week in the NFL like I had in college, and I'm not seeing it coming.
It'll come. It'll come.
I have been horrific.
You know what, though? It happens.
It does happen.
For anyone that's ever watched us for like a long period of time, there are days where we will say something and the strategy and the reasoning behind it makes total sense. And then football happens. This is American football. This shit happens. It's weird. Sometimes a team that has no business winning, Arizona Cardinals, will come out and absolutely destroy someone. Sometimes a running back who has no business still being in the league, James Conner, is effective. And people will always come back and be like, well, you said don't play James Conner because he sucks. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Welcome to football.
Sure did.
Yes, and I stand by it. Here's the thing. I will tell you when I made a wrong choice, and
I'll
make a bad choice.
I make them all the time.
Yeah, make bad plays sometimes. Overall, as I said, my DraftKings is Greene.
Yes.
So,
and I have a lineup today. At the end of the show, Dave and I will give you lineups that we're playing nowhere that you should play somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. I think you just have to understand that we're humans. Sometimes we don't get it right. Most of the time we do, though.
I am now actively trying to find as many single entries as I can cram this lineup in.
Single entry is the way to go.
I love single entry contests. I really do.
We have plenty of time because we still goddamn early games came in and everything up.
Oh, and today, Tanks in Charlotte, I am not expected to be anywhere. I may make an appearance at the Village Porch here later, but I don't know how long I will be there. I haven't watched. Oh, breaking news! Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting against the Baltimore Ravens. How much shit does that change for you?
Not a thing.
Really?
Are you flipping to the Baltimore side of things now? It's tough. I was just going to say, let's talk strategy. This is a perfect time to do it. The perfect time to do it because we've got a game where the quarterback situation has changed. So we're looking at, you're going to pair a quarterback in this game.
$4,600.
You thought Baltimore was going to lose anyway because they're running cashiers from Ingles.
Low prices love the savings.
Yep, thank you. So they're gonna play. DTR was pretty good in the preseason to the point where people were like, we should be playing this guy more. So who are you pairing him with? $4,600. You probably have to go Jerome Ford anyway.
Jerome Ford's passing out back anyway.
Well, you need him. You need him because he's the weapon there. And then what are you going? Moore? Going Elijah Moore? 47?
I feel like that makes me like Amari Cooper less. And probably makes me like
shares of Amari Cooper.
How much is David Njoku? You know how I feel about.
It is 3,800, but he's also questionable.
Oh, he's going to play. He showed up at the stadium in a full mask. He burned his face on a fire pit and literally showed up in like a Jason Voorhees mask.
I don't know.
I'm trying to verify this. Dory, it looks accurate because I've seen it in a couple places. There it is. Ian Rappaport. Deshaun Watson is not able to play today. DTR is starting. That's an interesting one to me because he has a really interesting ability to run the ball. And I look at that Ravens defense is pretty killed.
I might do it anyway.
The only thing that scares me about that's Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen might actually end his life.
I am all about FAFO. If we want to fuck around and find out, I am in for it.
And pissed off Browns fan. It's not that I didn't believe you. I just wanted to see somebody. I wanted to see it on Twitter. I've been, not that I think you would dupe me, but it's real easy to get duped on Twitter. I 100% believe you. I just had to see it.
Need to verify.
That makes DTR definitely a play on DraftKings to me. 4,600, he's gonna run. That's what he does.
We always believe you, pissed off Browns fan. We do.
You are an accurate man. You tend to be very accurate, especially when it comes to the Cleveland Browns.
I just, like Jeremy said, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff you see on the tweeters or X.
Oh yeah,
we're calling it now.
Yeah, I refuse to call it X.
I'm not calling it X.
The only X that I do on a daily basis was in college, and it led to some bad decisions. I think that's how I met the girl that put cigarettes out on my couch.
Don't do crimes, friends. Don't do crimes.
Yeah, I'm trying to fashion a DTR lineup. It's just that would take me off Aiden O'Connell because I think I shouldn't say it takes me off of him. Aiden O'Connell could end up being really good.
All right.
Which of those two would you play? If you had to play, let's say you had 4,600 for your quarterback. You can play DTR or you can play Aiden O'Connell. Which one do you play?
You play DTR if that's the choice.
I think you're right.
DTR can run. He might mess around and run a tutty in.
And he's so cheap. That takes me off Matthew Stafford.
All right, so let's go DTR, Ford, Swift at running back, Jefferson, Elijah Moore, Nakua, Hawk at tight end, Mims and your flex because you need something cheap. And let's just toss the Browns defense in there because we can. If we want to get a little spicier, we can do. We could do like. I don't think anyone else. I don't like anybody else. Raiders are going to get killed. Cardinals are going to get killed. Commanders are going to get killed. Panthers are going to get killed. Dolphins, Buffalo. I think Miami wins, but I think you just have to go. You can either go Browns or Bears there at defense. You could go Colts. I don't like that, though. So just go Browns defense.
I'm trying to figure out who would you stack DTR with? I mean, because if you go Njoku, you can and take Hawk out, which I'm not advising. I'm just saying if you did it.
Yep. Pay up at wide receiver.
You can then have damn near anything you want.
I don't hate the Elijah Moore pick.
I don't either.
I think that he just gets enough catches. I don't think it's going to be big yards. I just think it's enough catches.
You also get Marcus Williams back this week. I can't go Njoku.
I'm your huckleberry.
Stephen Tao said repeat that lineup.
I'm putting it in chat.
He is putting it in the chat. Stephen Tao asked, just snag DTR. Would you play him or Justin Fields?
DTR.
I think you're right. And look, you got to understand that Dorian Thompson-Robinson probably has not gotten a ton of reps. So this could be really clunky. They're going to lean on Jerome Ford. It makes me like Jerome Ford more.
Yes.
I mean, I think Jerome Ford now becomes easily a play with DTR because he's going to catch passes. I don't love Njoku because he's going to see too much Roquan Smith. He's going to see too much Marcus Williams.
See too much smoke in his eyes from burning his face.
Yes, there's also that.
I think Njoku does a great job blocking today. All those blocking points he's going to put up.
Yeah. That does take me off the Browns defense, though.
It doesn't for me.
The Browns were my layup defense, and now they're not.
Doesn't for me. I got to leave them in. They're just cheap.
Now I want to play the Eagles, but I got to find the money to do so. And I don't want to come off anybody I have because I love this lineup a lot.
He's too cheap not to risk.
DTR?
Yeah.
He's going to be super high owned.
That's the other thing.
He's going to be super high owned. Here's what this does. All right, now you have two cheap-ass quarterbacks that are both under 4,600. So one thing I will tell you is, and I'm just going to look at the projected ownership that I had coming into today. All right, I have not adjusted this for the news that has come out this morning. My highest projected owned quarterback was Anthony Richardson. Josh Allen was right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts was 3, and then we had a bunch in that. Justin Fields, Aiden O'Connell, Justin Herbert. Now I would say DTR is your number one owned quarterback because he does have the running ability. Aiden O'Connell doesn't. I will say he comes in somewhere in the neighborhood of 15% ownership. The one that will take all of what they had is Matthew Stafford. So if you want to play a contrarian lineup, you can just stack mid-tier players. So if you want to go the Matthew Stafford with Puka Nacua, you can do a lot of those things now without real fear of repercussion that it's going to hurt you in any way.
This makes me – so this is my thought process now, and this is usually how I would go about building a lineup anyway. I go, where is everybody? So that's step one. Jeremy just went through there. Where are the points? And looking at the games, I don't think that changes a ton for that Cleveland-Baltimore game in terms of like total score. We're like +7. Is that what we're adding to the final here? Like one touchdown either way. Now, I'm not saying which way. I'm just saying overall, where do you think that this impacts the score in a positive or negative way? I think that someone could score an extra touchdown here. And then I go, okay, and now where do I need to be to not be in the traffic? I don't want to be in traffic. You're going to need some traffic.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need some chalk. But like Jeremy just said, there are a bunch of guys that all of a sudden just became freed up because everyone is going to flex over to the DTR side.
And you should. I mean, you should have some DTR.
I'm fine with them. I think it makes sense to have some.
This is going to be an interesting day. I thought this was going to be the chalkiest of chalk days, and it does not feel that way anymore.
It's going to be a Bootsy day is what it's going to be.
This is one of those days that if you cash, you're
wizard.
I won't even say you're a wizard. You just you audible will. Which is what we hope the Atlanta Falcons will do to make this even half-ass of a game.
They won't.
Taylor Heineke has to come out at halftime, right?
You would think so, wouldn't you?
I feel pretty certain of it. I can't imagine putting Desmond Ridder back on this field as bad as he's been. By the way, people that have listened to our draft coverage for a long time, hey, you remember that thing I said about Desmond Ridder? Here we are.
Surprise to no one.
I will never understand why teams take shots on these mediocre, half-assed quarterbacks and then roll with them.
I understand why they do it.
Please, God, explain it to me, because I don't. I don't understand why you would waste a draft pick on Desmond Ridder. There was nothing in that tape that suggested to me that kid could play in the NFL.
Because they don't know football that well.
I don't believe that with Arthur Smith. I think you're just so friggin' desperate. And you think that you can mold him into Ryan Tannehill light, and you don't understand that this kid makes terrible decisions.
Yeah, it's ugly. What are you supposed to do with that, though? That's the problem. What do you like? You've made your. This is the Jets' problem right now.
Yeah. You do exactly what the Jets should be doing. You tap out on it and go, "We fucked that up."
You picked your guy. He's not the guy.
Yeah, we boo-boo kittied that.
You signed a better guy who played for 36 seconds. And now you're back to the guy, but you're doing exactly what you should do in this situation. Was you pretend like the guy that you signed, that you said is not the guy, is fine, even though you know he's not. And then in the offseason, you get your guy back and you say, glad that's over.
Yeah, glad that's over. That sucked. We ought not do that.
You got to get a guy. You got to find the guy. This is where this is the make or break time for our guy, my guy. And I don't think that he's the guy. And I know that you've been on that, but he's also not as bad as some of the other guys that are in this situation. He just doesn't have any help. He needs elite talent, and he's got none. Only Matthew Judon played offense.
Okay. Back to questions in the chat. Sky Empire, Browns or Steelers defense? I'll take the Steelers.
I'll also take the Steelers.
I would have been on the Browns before the DTR thing, but you always got to be careful playing a defense with a rookie quarterback, because they can put you in just heinous situations. And I think DTR will be good, but you have to be reticent of that.
Yeah.
John, I forgot he had another receiver, so it's choose 4: DJ Chark, George Pickens, Amari Cooper, Garrett Wilson, Justin Jefferson, DeAndre Hopkins. Jefferson.
I like
Pickens,
and I like Hopkins. Because he's the only guy to get it. And then this is where you and I differed.
You would go Cooper, or you would go Wilson, and I would go Cooper.
Yeah. And the DTR thing might take you off that. I don't know.
No. I mean, it doesn't help, but I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson's a better quarterback than Zach Wilson.
Yep.
So I'm good on everything Garrett Wilson. I think he's a prodigious talent with no quarterback. Pissed off Brands fan that said if DTR looks good today, we're going to be in that same situation San Francisco's in. I said that same thing earlier this week when the injury on Watson came out, is if you get DTR on this field, the most popular person in every room is the backup quarterback.
Of course he is. Just don't so Trey Lance was an interesting situation, but I don't think anybody outside of tinfoil hat circles thought that Trey Lance was the better quarterback of the two after seeing Brock play. I've seen this play out for my own team, where insane people think that Bailey Zappi is the answer, and I just think that that's flat wrong. DTR has got some upside, but he
no doubt
raw.
Yeah, I mean, and people lose their mind because he looks so good in the preseason. Well, he looks so good in the preseason because he's a mobile quarterback. He's playing up against vanilla defenses. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you they played the Jets in the Hall of Fame game, and he didn't do anything that I mean, he was fine. He took what the defense gave him, but you're not going to get that in a regular season game. He could end up running for his life today.
One time.
Say it again.
Even Justin Fields looked good once.
Oh, fact.
Like let's. He could look good this game. I'm just saying. I also don't think Deshaun is your answer, but regardless, you got DTR today.
M. Stone. All of a sudden, the Browns are dogs. I actually think they have a shot of beating the Ravens by a touchdown. I do too. Fields has a shot at accumulating significant rushing yards this week. I agree with you there as well. Calvin Beermaster Rogers, would you flex Zay Flowers, Mike Evans, or Brandon Ayuk?
Ayuk.
Would be Ayuk for me too. Mike Evans is visiting his father this week, so I'm Seacrest out on Mike Evans. He's starting A.J. Brown and Tyreek Hill. Good God, you draft well. Eat and Sleep Football said apparently when Ritter threw the pick, it was much funnier than it should have been. Well, you got to assume Atlanta's just looking around going, we have zero shot with you. And this is striking me exactly like it was last year of, I don't know that the guy behind you is the answer, but I know you're not.
Yeah.
Danny Fence fan asked if we're watching Toy Story football. I am not.
Nope. Here with you guys.
I wonder if there's anything on Twitter that will show me what this looks like.
I've seen a couple of clips where the claw machine was placing the football, and
yeah, there it is. Oh, that's horribly lame.
Yep. It's ugly.
Oh, and there's good God, how many glitches can you have in one clip? Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
You got guys facing the wrong direction. Oh. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on all of this.
Yeah. Yep.
I just watch the damn game. That's where I'm at. Oh, let's see. The Dolphins fans talk about circling the Bills today.
I agree.
I'm on the Bills. I like the Bills in Buffalo. Although anything I say, you should probably do the opposite. It'll.
You're bound to get back on it.
Michael Meadows, really like my DFS lineup. Contrarian for the most part. Had the Browns, can spend $3,700. Anybody you like better than the Browns? The Eagles are the obvious one. And I'm shoehorning them into lineups.
3,700.
That's a lot for a defense, but that's also it worked for me last week.
Minnesota. 3,500.
That's too much for a defense that sucks.
It is too much.
Carolina's Minnesota's awful.
Score. Maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe it's a blowout game. The Eagles are the right answer. That's the team that you should be going after here.
No doubt. It's a very, very good defense against a young quarterback. This showed last week they can go down the rabbit hole of letting him throw too much and then lead to just a hell of a day.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Armchair, you have officially convinced me to stop tinkering.
Good. It's a wise decision.
Stop tinkering. It's not good for you or anybody involved.
No, it's never good. Tinkering leads to regret. You're going to go back and you're going to go, why did I take out this guy and put in this guy? And you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, oh, I got 14 points. And then you look and he's got like a 46. And you're like, well, that was a mistake.
Well, Matthew Stafford is the one that I'm afraid of this week.
Don't do it.
Because I had him everywhere.
If you take him, keep some.
Oh, I still have some. I'm just much heavier on DTR now than I was on.
Yeah, see, I didn't go too heavy. I added a line or two, but nothing crazy.
Well, DTR just allows me to have all of the things that I want.
Totally understandable.
Good God, that's a squad. It's a squad, and I like it a lot.
It's safe away.
TJ Hawkinson. I came into this day TJ Hawkinson no matter what, because tight end sucks.
Yep, as noted.
Oh, a lot of targets for Christian Kirk today. He has been good so far. Danny Finn's fan said his 2-year-old's loving the Toy Story football thing. That's understandable.
So it's 4.
Yeah, it's not for us. I mean, I've admitted that from the jump of, it doesn't do anything for me. It's not supposed to do anything for me.
Correct.
Oh, I don't see any more. Let's see. Chauncey asked, I picked Atlanta. Yes, I picked Atlanta. Tank and the Chief and the chat were on the Jags. And it's very obvious that I got that wrong. Because it's 17-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's going to salvage this is if Taylor Heineke comes out at halftime. And even then, I don't think you're winning. It's really more of a question of, can you figure out if you have a real-life, honest-to-God quarterback on your roster? Because Desmond Ritter's not one.
Let that guy go.
Oh, we're waiting on inactives, which we'll hit in about 30 minutes.
Yeah. JT Money says, teams seem to build wrong. Draft O-line, draft D-line, wide receiver, then QB and running back. QB last running back. Teams seem to draft QB first and then get their brains smashed in. Yes. On purpose.
Well,
problem, you got to okay, so who puts butts in seats?
Quarterbacks.
It's not so let's look at the Lions, who change a little bit of a changing of the guard in the North right now. Aiden Hutchinson played unbelievable game. He's rounding into an incredible defender. Micah Parsons, incredible, absolutely incredible defender. Everybody's looking at the quarterback though. Quarterback's where it starts, and that's the problem. Is if you're real bad, you're not bad enough to get the good quarterbacks. And the good quarterbacks now with NIL and the way that things are playing, I think are going to start taking walks and hoping for teams that got hurt to be bad instead of teams that are just bad but bad.
Well, it's ironic you said that. I've been working on the first mock draft, and I'm looking at the bad teams in this league. If you're Caleb Williams, what's your best case scenario? I mean, Chicago's your worst case scenario, and they got 2 bullets in that.
Go to die
because they got 2 bullets in the gun, and both of them are 0-3, and one of them is almost invariably going to be 0-4 today. Then both of them might be.
Yeah.
Who are you hoping for, and why is it Minnesota?
No, it's got to be Minnesota.
That's the one. To me, that's the only one. I don't want to play. I don't want to go to Denver. The weapons aren't great. Sean Payton's an asshole.
Yeah.
That team looks way behind. Chargers already have a quarterback.
Yep.
I don't want to go to the dysfunction of Vegas. No. Arizona, I've said the whole time, wouldn't take a quarterback even if they were up there. They'd trade it out and build the rest of the roster. Hell, I'm not sure. I still maintain they should continue playing Josh Dobbs. Tennessee has no weapons.
Yep.
The Jets. Weapons. But there's a great chance that you're going to be sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for a year.
Yep.
This draft is, we're obviously nowhere really near realistically talking about the NFL draft, but damn, this is an interesting year.
He might just say no.
Oh, I've said that was a possibility for weeks. Mainly because I'm thinking about it where I would be. If the Chicago Bears have the first and third pick in this draft, there's a damn 100% chance I'm going to Chicago.
Yeah.
Or I go back to USC and keep throwing, what's he got now, 20-something touchdowns this year?
Yeah.
He's throwing 1 interception, and the only reason he even threw that's because he broke contain and believed in his arm a little too much.
The difference between 2 or 3 years ago and now is that he wants to say at USC he can make $1 million+ bucks, no problem.
Oh yeah, I think the estimate I saw was he was making about $4.2 million in NIL dollars.
So why would he want to go to? and I mentioned this in the other one. I made a video recently. Go check it out. No 4,000-yard passer ever on the Bears.
Which is crazy. The Jets have only had one, and I think he cleared it by like 84 yards.
That's bad. That's real bad. They're the only team that's never had one. And I just, it's ugly. So I don't know if that's the team I want to go to. They haven't been able to figure it out. Jay Cutler got close. When Jay Cutler is your image of
that's your high watermark
success, it's a real problem. It's fun. It's real fun. Darts on the sideline and whatever, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'd be staying home if I was him. Huh. California is real nice.
Real nice. Yeah. Will you check questions in the chat?
Yeah.
I'm down a rabbit hole here.
JT Money said Mike White looked good one time as well.
He did.
Yes. Yeah.
Didn't last real long, but
Pennywise mentioned Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews playing today. He's playing today, I think. How are the Ravens even going to score? It's going to be ugly. I don't think that game's going to be fun. Bijan looked like he was being held hostage.
Yeah.
Shot a promotion video.
Yeah.
Eric Miller likes Cincy's D.
I don't mind Cincy's D.
Yeah. M. Stone's asking, will Thielen score against his old team? He's kind of cheap on DFS.
Yeah, he just got surged after last week. I mean, I understand why you would do it. You're playing the narrative.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't think I have to do it.
I don't know if I want to do it. Notorious B.I.G., am I crazy for having Tennessee beating Cincinnati? I think so.
I don't think you're crazy because the defense is good. The problem is, how are they going to score? And I don't have a good answer to that.
No. Kevin the PRF, my Commanders getting beat today, but then get a 3-game heater on deck, the Bears, Falcons, and Giants.
Oh, yeah. Look, they're going to get smoked today.
Yeah. But then.
And Desmond Ridder comes back. Desmond Ridder comes back out.
No, it makes no sense.
Which makes 0 sense to me.
Unless you're trying to get him killed. So
Bijan rips off a big run. Basically, they got into scoring position off nothing but runs.
Yeah.
And then the first pass Ridder throws is just awful. Oh, but he completed one. Son of a bitch. He didn't mean to. He didn't mean to. Oh, good God. I hate this. I hate this Desmond Ridder thing, and I'm ready for it to be over.
Kelvin Joyner says this Atlanta team is bad, but drop Kalen Williams on it, and now it looks completely different.
Fact, but they're not bad enough. They're going to win games because they have Bijan Robinson, who just showed he is a dog.
He's legit. Yeah.
Let's see. How do you feel about Pittsburgh's D on DFS today? I'm in favor of it. If I'm spending that much, though, I'm going Eagles. Because I don't see I see no bust potential in the Eagles because I think they are going to smoke the Commanders. Common sense ain't common. Kevin PRS said Cardinals.
Yeah.
Because they got a tackle. That's where he would want to go. I don't know. I've never seen them develop a quarterback either. And what I'm seeing out of them right now is a lot of smoke and mirrors and a lot of Johnny Rah-Rah.
Yeah.
Common sense ain't common. Jahan Dotson, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison. I think there I have to go Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I'm not getting baited into the Jordan Addison thing again.
Yeah, I'm not either. I think I'd go Garrett Wilson there. That's a play your studs and hope he hits one. Because Jahan Dotson's probably going to catch one of those high-end because he plays on the outside so much with Samuel in slot.
I agree.
He's going to catch either Slay or Bradbury, and I don't like that matchup for him at all. Kurt, Armchair has a YouTube channel?
Sure do. I'm not nearly as fancy as the fellas here. But yeah, click on my profile and you should find me. I'm there. I'm doing some historical stuff mostly for my show, which kind of takes a backseat to all the other stuff I do. Here we are.
But we appreciate Armchair, and we love Armchair, and Armchair is as much one of us as Tank and I are.
Appreciate that.
We just have we have a serious distance betwixt us.
Yeah.
DC Justice says he goes back to school. Chicago's in the same position to pick him the following year. That is the risk, is that if you play that, hey, I'm going to go back to school thing, it could be the same team picking you the next year.
Could just do the Eli thing.
Let's see.
Could just say, trade me. I won't play for you. You can pick me, but trade me.
Jekyll is Deshaun Watson's out today picking up a quarterback for him. Would you cut Quentin Johnson, Terry McLaurin, or DJ Moore? Definitively no to the latter two. I would cut Quentin Johnson, though. I don't think he's taking over that Mike Williams role. Just because they look alike, they are not the same player. Correct. Josh Palmer is the one that's taking over that Mike Williams role.
Yeah.
They don't trust Quentin Johnson. It is super obvious. Oh, we have an Atlanta Falcons touchdown thrown by Desmond Ridder.
He didn't mean to.
We were so close to being done with this shit. And it goes to Drake London, who is clinically alive. And now that's a thing we know.
Just so you guys know, it's 1,550.1 miles between Asheville and Halifax.
How far is it?
It's a full 24-hour drive.
Indeed. You said it's 1,500 miles?
1,550.
That's half of the United States.
Yep.
I've made that drive. That's a hell of a drive.
1,550.
That's why I fly.
This is why we do the YouTube.
This
is why we zoom me in, because it's a bit of a drive.
Jekyll's trying to help out his brother. Apologies. I misread that. He has Tyreek, DK, and CeeDee Lamb. Jesus Christ. Is he playing with children, and who are his running backs?
I hate this.
Now I'm certainly cutting Quentin Johnson, because there's not a snowball's chance in hell he winds up in that starting lineup.
Yeah.
He's picking up a quarterback, but it doesn't tell me who the options are. Derek Fenton, tell me if I'm saying that correctly. What's up, guys? Have Kamara, Henry, Javonte Williams, Joe Mixon, and Ford. What three would you start? It's not Javonte Williams.
No. I think you go Ford, Mixon. Oh. I'm going to go Henry. I don't want to, though. Kamara's close.
I feel like this is one of those player studs times.
You go Kamara?
I mean, I don't like Derrick Henry against the Bengals, but am I really? Yeah, I probably would. I'd go Kamara, Ford, Mixon.
Ford's going to...
Although I don't love Joe Mixon either. That Tennessee Titan defense is pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see. Kurt asked for the name of your YouTube channel and your podcast there, Armchair.
It's Armchair Commentary. It's my name. One sec, I'll drop it in chat for the channel.
Indeed. He does great things. That's how we met. He booked me to do his show. Still don't know how you found me. Amy asked me that the other day.
Oh, that's easy. I was looking for guest to book, and you were pimping yourself out.
Yes, I do that.
On some various Facebook groups, I think.
Yes, I did that for a while, and then I stopped.
When you were, this is back in the old days of the.
Oh, this was in the Rona times.
The table.
Oh yeah, that was in the Rona times.
Yeah. So I said, hey, come on, let's talk Jets, and he came on, and probably one of my favorite episodes I've ever done. I had a co-host then. He's a jabroni. He quit. Good for him. And then yeah, I talked to Jeremy, and we kind of hit it off.
That we did. It was one of the great interviews I ever did, which is awesome because probably 99% of those were absolutely worthless.
Yeah.
But that one was good.
Well, there's the difference is, and this is, I'll tell you this, there are lots of people doing lots of content.
Yes.
Lots of things out there, and a lot of them suck.
On ice.
They just suck. People are, I appreciate everybody liking sports. The difference is that it's, I know things, and Jeremy knows things, and like, we can actually talk about it instead of, doing this, oh yeah, let me ask you about why I think the Packers are going to win because I'm a Packers fan. I don't care about that. We don't homer as much.
No. And I mean, what's funny is I still get called a homer, even though I'm harder on my team than I am on anybody else.
I am in the same boat. That's the YouTube channel. It took me a long time to cut and paste that because I have a Mac, and that sucks.
Oh yeah. Don't do those things.
Right click. Nope, don't exist. But yeah, I found you on it was a random Facebook request. You were like, hey, I'll do podcasts. And I was like, come on my show. You're like, in. And we talked about the Jets. We talked butt fumble. We talked Wayne Krebet. Talked all the glory days. And it was a lot of fun. It was one of my favorite episodes all time. And then, yeah, kind of been back and forth ever since. And then you needed a fill-in for Fantasy Sunday Sit-em Stardoms. And myself and Parton jumped on. And then you kept me. Not because Parton wasn't any good, but you kept me.
Oh, yeah, we love Parton, too. He offered to be our third today. Actually, a couple people did. There's only one problem with that. If you're not here, I have to figure out a way to have you and Armchair at the same time, which is currently a little above the technology that we have.
Yeah.
And if you were coming physically in here, I had to be in two places at once because now we have a sweet gate that I can't leave open.
Also, remember, as I just said, 1,550 miles for Armchair to get there.
Bingo. Bingo. Let's see. We got more questions in the chat. We got inactives coming in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, Bijan's a modern day Barry Sanders. I'm not going to disagree with you. By the way, Texas has another running back right now, also a dog. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I watched them beat the bejesus out of Kansas. Yeah, I was right on that.
Ready.
I was right on that game for about 3 quarters, and then Texas defense went, we don't have any more players, and we've been out here for over 30 minutes through 3 quarters. And then it went bad in a hurry. Oh, Gage, or Kevin PRF, Jahan Dotson's been a lost target because Howell is locked in on his first read. Young quarterbacks do that. I think that will get better in time. I still believe in Sam Howell. Gage, the Eagles' D-line versus the Commanders' offensive line equals a real bad time for Howell. That's why I'm shoehorning the Eagles in everywhere I can get them in.
Find a way.
Oh, Jekyll picked up Matthew Stafford. Today, I think that's a great play. Eric Miller, any chance Michigan jumps Georgia to number 1 this week in the polls? Tank really believes so. I don't. I physically believe that the poll voters are going to have to see Georgia lose because they refuse to believe that the SEC sucks, in spite of the fact that I've been saying it for 3 weeks. And I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that on the show tomorrow. Overreaction, and I got a hell of one to start the second hour. But there is a chance. I don't see it, but there is a chance. They would be my number 1, just to be clear. They would be my 1, or Michigan would be my 1, Washington would be my 2, Texas would be my 3, Florida State would be my 4, and Georgia's not my top 5.
Yeah.
You can't keep struggling with shitty teams and keep telling me, but we were good last year. Yeah, and half your starters are in the NFL now. Oh, and Carson Beck blows dead Bears.
I did not like the look of Georgia.
I didn't either. Fenton asked Wilson or Joe Burrow. I'm trying to think of what Wilson that could. If it's Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, you're not serious, right?
If it's Zach Wilson, I swear to Jesus, I would play Joe Camel over Zach Wilson. Joe Burrow, if both of his legs were cut off, I would still play Joe Burrow over Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Danny Finn's fan, happy that his shares of Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley are finally paying off. Although Atlanta does have the ball back, so we could have a ball game, folks, except for there is no doubt that Desmond Ridder is about to do Desmond Ridder things and turn the ball over. Majabi asked, predictions for Chargers Raiders, a little worried with O'Connell today. I have a dedicated lean on that. Armchair, go ahead, and then I'll rant for a moment.
I think that it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think the Chargers are going to win. I think that O'Connell will be fine.
I'm not sure that the Raiders aren't going to be in the boat that we all think the Browns are going to be. All right, so we've already talked about DTR and him getting on the field, and he's going to look better and blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I'm not sure Aiden O'Connell doesn't come in and move that offense, and then all of a sudden we look around and go, why are we paying Jimmy Garoppolo again? That dude who is always hurt and is leading the league in interceptions.
Leading the league in handsome.
He is that. He has he certainly.
It's the one thing he leads the league in, always.
I think there's no doubt he has banged more porn stars than any starting quarterback in the NFL. And that
like
and
Jimmy
225
Garoppolo as a stopgap quarterback when you're trying to be bad, but you still want to look like you're trying to win. That's where he is.
I can't disagree with you. I believed in the Raiders because of Garoppolo, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't really realize how little I believed in him until they're sliding in Aiden O'Connell, and I went, yep, I'm not sure I don't like that better.
Yeah, it's
because that's the devil I don't know. I already know exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo is.
Yeah.
So, and Majabi is a Chargers fan, so it makes sense to me that he said a little worried with O'Connell because you just don't know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm. I'd be more worried about your coach than I'm worried about anything that they're doing on their side.
Correct.
Josh McDaniels will kick a field goal down 7. So
yes, because he's a big dumb animal.
Can I kick one for 4? That's a Josh McDaniels quote, I'm pretty sure.
Did I just repeat myself somehow? I heard dumb animal twice.
Maybe.
That was bizarre. Maybe I'm still drunk from last night. It's entirely possible. Jekyll said, now for my team, wants to get Kamara in the lineup. He's got Josh Jacobs, Raheem Mostert, and Thielen in the flex. For me, it's take out Thielen, put in Kamara.
Yes.
I don't see Thielen replicating that week last week. There was about a 5-minute period this week where I actually drunkenly went, hey, let's play Bryce Young in DFS. And then I sobered up and went, are you out of your damn mind? Let's see. Gage said, Armchair, I believe the term is objective. Yes, we try our damnedest to be objective.
Yeah.
Majabi, I have Garrett Wilson, Tank Dell, Zay Flowers, and Addison, feeling like I should bench Addison today since Tank has gotten a ton of attention so far. Tank's he's the number 1 on that list for me.
Same.
I would say Garrett Wilson's the 2, Zay Flowers probably the 3. I don't like Addison this week because I don't think they have to.
Nope.
He could sneak in the end zone for a touchdown. You're third in line in a passing offense that I think is going to beat the bejesus out of Carolina and get anything they want. And I know I'm kind of speaking out of both sides of my mouth that I think Kirk Cousins is going to throw for a lot of yards. I think he's going to throw for $150 to Jettas, probably 100 to TJ Hawkinson, and I think they get the touchdowns because I don't have to throw to a third read.
No.
So that would be my solution. I don't love Zay Flowers. I don't love Garrett Wilson, but Tank Dell's the no-doubter for me.
Yeah.
Kelvin Joyner said only one solution. Either Armchair moves to Asheville or the show goes Canadian.
Well, I got a kid up here, so.
Bingo.
No going anywhere for Armchair.
Yeah, we've offered. Could be at Asheville commentary.
It could be. It could be. We'll rebrand Armchair and just to get more going on it.
Kevin the PRF, the running back for Texas, Jonathan Brooks. As soon as I saw that name, I went, yep, that's the one I said a bunch of times yesterday because he cost me a shitload of money. Because Texas is really good at football, and Kansas does not have nearly enough players.
Not a one.
Oh, let's see. Bills no power is that bug. I don't know what that means. I can't even figure out what that was supposed to mean.
No.
Oh, Fenton said Russell Wilson, not Zach. Okay. Now that makes a lot more sense. You're a new name, and we love new names, and I really didn't want to go, are you high on methamphetamine right now? Because I didn't think about Russell Wilson. Now, that's actually a much better question.
I like Russ.
I do too.
I can't get away from this idea that Russ has a game and everybody gets back on board and they're like, Denver's turned a corner. And I don't think any of those things are true, but I think he has one good game, and it's this.
Well, he's had a couple good games fantasy wise. He just looks like dog shit for an NFL quarterback. And look, the Chicago Bears, if you told me it was me playing quarterback, throwing to Tank and Brian Hall and Mike Morgan, I'm not sure that I couldn't throw for 2 and some change.
Yeah.
So, I know this sounds crazy. I'd probably play Russell Wilson over Joe Burrow. I mean, let me look at my rankings for the week. I'm sure I have Burrow ahead of him.
I actually don't. Too many shares of Russell Wilson, so I'm not objective on this front. I think that Russ is having a game, so I'm on Russ.
Yeah, I have Russ in the top 10. I do not have Joe Burrow in the top 10.
I think Cincinnati wins their game. I don't think it's on the strength of Joe Burrow throwing for 375 and 3 touchdowns.
Because you don't have to. I mean, this is a Tennessee team that's going to struggle to score. That Cincinnati defense is better than people think. And you could just absolutely lean on Mixon in the defense and not ask Burrow to do much. And I think that's probably where today goes. Stephen Tao defending his guy, Jimmy Garoppolo, again. He does that, and we respect it.
I am a Jimmy G fan. He leads the league in handsome.
Yeah, I mean, if I looked like him, I wouldn't own clothes. But unfortunately, he's proving on a weekly basis he is just not a great NFL quarterback.
Bijan Robinson's the only player on that offense.
100%. They can do nothing that is not Bijan Robinson. And the fact he only has 17 touches is dumbfounding to me. I literally think they should just say fuck it and run the Lou Holtz triple option.
Yeah, might as well.
It's dumbfounding to me how many people commented on that Lou Holtz video I did and went, that guy's Lou Holtz is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is.
Done it for a while. It's not I get to bring that one out about once a year. I still want to prank call Ryan Day's house as Lou Holtz.
Like you should.
If anybody ever gets a hold of Ryan Day's number, somebody let me know.
Listen, you son of a bitch. You put some respect on Lou Holt's name when you say it. You understand me, you son of a bitch?
I could have quite a good time with that. Jason Trump asked what's in the vape. I am trying to quit smoking, and so I have to literally suck on this thing like it's my first week at Bible camp. So apologies.
It's heroin.
I've actually got pure crystal meth in this thing. I'm not sure I'm going to get home. Amy went to church with my mother, so I'm on my own.
Yeah.
Oh, Majabi said he's a Purdue fan, and Staley makes rookies look better than they are.
Sure.
I don't disagree with you. Jekyll's debate on Thielen was it being a revenge game for him. I get that. If it was Andy Dalton, I would totally agree with you. I can't get on board with Bryce Young. He has looked too bad. And then he missed a good amount of practice, and I wanted to be on board with that because I hate Minnesota. I just can't figure out a way. I can't get my brain in lockstep with I'm going to get on board with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Let's see. Danny Finn's fan's wife asked, start 3, James Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Raheem Mostert. CMC's the no-doubter. I'd probably go Cook Mostert, honestly.
I think I'm in the same boat.
Well, I mean, when you have receivers that good or running backs that good, you don't have to risk it with Kamara.
No, you don't. That's the idea, I think.
But now
safety.
We should have inactives here momentarily.
Yeah.
And if there's no Vita Vea, then that opens up the Alvin Kamara thing to me.
Yep.
All right, they're not out yet. I just checked, and we're not out there yet. Do I know?
Hitting the refresh. Waiting for my inactives.
Oh, let's see. Gage, he's got Herbert, Jacobs, Moss, Allen, Dale, Mims, Parham, Swift, and the Eagles. You have 6 of the same players I have in my big lineup. So, yes, I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stephen Towle said if you dyed your beard jet black, you could pull off a Ryan Day lookalike.
Probably.
He doesn't have that angry, like, neck vein thing that Ryan Day has.
No. I don't get that mad.
Kevin the PRF thinks it's funny that my little vape box looks like a Pez dispenser. It tastes like a Pez dispenser as well. Saban said that football's slowly getting to the point where they're not going to be able to defend it anymore. Are we there? I'm there. College football is at this point only this popular because the product is so good. The management of the NCAA is laughably pathetic.
Yes.
Speaking of which, this week we will be picking Armchair, his very own collegiate football organization.
One of the teams is the Terps. One of the teams in the running is the Terps because
Stephen Towle's been all aboard that train. Oh, we had a Kyle Pitts sighting, and then Atlanta did, those things that they do, which is shit in their own pants because Desmond Ridder is bad at football.
Yep. All right, well, we got no Irv Smith today for the Bengals. So
yeah, they had pulled up was it Tanner Hudson, I think is his name. So that was one that I think we kind of, or at least I kind of saw coming.
Is Kyrie Elam ever going to play again?
I don't know. I feel like he's been inactive for a very long time. Yeah. No Jordan Poyer. We knew that one going in. Nothing overly jump up and down about. No. Bills don't really have anything. Bengals don't really have anything. Obviously, Deshaun Watson inactive, which we already knew. No Garrett Bradbury for the Minnesota Vikings.
God, are they ever slow at updating the inactives?
I know, right? They have to be in right now.
What is everybody submitting on dial-up? Come on.
Yeah, it's comical to me that we do this every single week, and it's like, oh, awesome.
Right.
You have this list.
No Bateman, no Beckham, no Murphy.
Jesus Christ.
Who's playing for Baltimore?
No Marcus Williams either. That opens me up to the idea of David Njoku.
Okay.
He's still probably going to get a lot of Roquan Smith. But if that's the case, it makes me like Jerome Ford more. There's a piece of Cleveland that you want. I just don't know what it is. I'm going Jerome Ford. Holy
Jerome Ford.
God, Baltimore is killed.
Yeah, they really are. That's awful. That's so bad.
Oh, somebody's
a living, breathing offensive weapon. A lot of Mark Andrews today.
Scott Gunther, he commented on the previous stream, Alexander Madison, Josh Kelly, or Damian Pierce.
Not Josh Kelly.
I'm going to go Damian Pierce because I don't think they need Alexander Madison, and I think Cam Akers is going to eat into him.
I think Alexander Madison is
Awful at
a
football.
false prophet. People thought that he was going to be the next Dalvin Cook, and now you realize what you had in Dalvin Cook, and now he's gone and doing nothing.
Yeah, he sucks too. I'm not real sure he's still good at football.
It's not great.
Tao again trying to convince you of the Maryland Terrapins because they're endorsed by Under Armour, so the swag grows on trees. They have some sweet swag too.
I'm not against that. It's get the votes. We're a democratic republic of sports. Get the votes.
I'm actually really interested to see where that goes. We tried to do this with Eddie Fox, and it did not go as well as I wanted it to. But you're actually a part of the show, so who knows? And that was over a year ago. Who knows?
No Claypool, no Donta Foreman, no Eddie Jackson, no Jalen Johnson.
Oof.
The Bears.
God, if you watch more than 5 seconds of Bears Broncos, I'm going to need you to explain to me why.
Because I have Russell Wilson going.
Track it on DK Live.
I will.
Don't subject yourself to that.
What do you do with Chase Claypool at this point?
If you're the Bears or in fantasy, if you're talking about fantasy, you should be nowhere near your lineup anyway.
He should never be in your lineup. But what do you do with him if you're the Bears?
Oh, you cut bait. Now, you keep him on the roster for the rest of the year. Realize that might be the worst trade we've seen outside of Russell Wilson in long time.
I think you let him go now. Just say bye.
I understand the merit of that. My only fear is that he is still a good receiver, and you could see him go to one of these. You could see him go to a team where he latches on, and then you look stupid on both sides. You gave up a second-round pick for this guy that you should not have ever given that up for. Then you release him, and he goes to Kansas City or somewhere like that and is a dog.
No Laramie Tunsil. Again, we knew that, I think.
Yeah. We did, but it's still, when you say it, you're like, oh, God, T's and P's for old T's and P's for old C.J. Stroud today.
Told you no Traylon Burks earlier today.
No Skoronski either. That's their best offensive lineman, and it's not even close.
Yep. It's going to get ugly.
Oof. A lot of questions in the chat. Is Carr really going to play? That is the way it appears. That was the story yesterday. I have not seen inactives from the Saints yet. So,
yeah, he is not on the inactive list.
And he's playing. If he wasn't going to play, he would be there. No Cesar Ruiz though for the Saints.
Yeah.
A.T. Perry. I want him to be a thing. Just can we get him on the field?
Nope, can't do it. Can't happen.
Because he's good at football.
Yeah. So no Derek Carr is in.
Yep, Derek Carr starting. Kevin the PRF said, actually, this Toy Story thing had a camera shot from inside Bijan's helmet on his run, and all of a sudden I want a helmet cam. They had that in the XFL. They learned very quickly it gets expensive.
Yeah.
Because you lose that camera about 3 times a game.
No Rashad Penny, no Quez Watkins, nothing crazy from the Eagles.
Yeah, all that was expected, I believe. Yeah. Sidney Brown, that's Rashad Penny, healthy scratch.
But Rashad Penny.
Oh, no Eli Apple for the Dolphins. Or Jalen Phillips. Or Connor Williams. Is Connor Williams a healthy scratch? Or was he hurt? Oh, he's questionable. He got a groin injury.
Okay.
I mean, he had been terrible as their center. Oh, God. What does that leave? All right, so you got Xavier Howard, Kohu. Ooh. Is it bad that one of my most confident picks of the day is that the Buffalo Bills are going to beat the Dolphins?
That's not bad. I think the Dolphins can win that game, but I don't like these inactives.
I don't like Jalen Phillips not being on that field.
No. That's a significant blow.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me think that you're going to have a lot of time for Josh Allen. By the way, Josh Allen has kicked the shit out of the Dolphins.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about him yet today. You want to talk about a contrarian play? That is a contrarian play.
I don't hate it.
You play Josh Allen, who I'm going to look at my ownership here and see. This should have updated with the Dorian Thompson-Robinson thing. He's going to be owned, but I'm not sure I care.
I don't.
He could light the Dolphins up today. He's so expensive, though.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
A lot of talk about Chase Claypool sucking at life, and he does.
Well, he does suck at life, but I don't understand what's going on. I mean, you say to the CFL that they won't take him.
Soaring Eagle, Dynasty, double PPR, Superflex. Do I trade Devontae Adams for Geno Smith, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Lockett, Mike Evans, and Derrick Henry?
Jesus Christ.
Yes. That's the short and sweet of that. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they're all old dudes, but so is Devontae Adams. You don't get a stud back like him, but you get pieces that you could break off.
You're going to have to cut like 100 people.
Well, I mean, on a dynasty roster, you probably got a bunch of dudes on the bottom of the roster that you can get rid of. Yeah. Gage Campbell and Mims looking real nice with no Jalen Johnson. Marvin Mims, one of my favorite plays of the day.
Yep. I agree.
Field Yates just declared Carr is active. Yep, he's active. We got the inactive list, and Derek Carr was not on it. Somebody new came in, and I don't know who it is. Oh, Jonathan Mingo inactive for the Panthers.
Yep.
Not much else there.
No. There's nothing that would. I mean, were you swayed to that side anyway?
What do you mean?
Mingo was active. Does that make you go? The Panthers are definitely beating Minnesota.
Oh, no. It's just a question of would I have taken a dart throw on him, because I love Jonathan Mingo, and I saw him in camp, and I was high on him. I think towards the end of the year, he's going to be a fantasy flyer that you probably want at least a nibble of. Yeah, but it's mainly for dynasty and things like that. Because I'm not sure you ever see it this year, but the talent is there. All right. I am not seeing any more. If you got any more questions, please chuck those in the chat. We'll get here in the last few minutes, we'll get to the last of those. And then Armchair and I both have lineups to go set.
Yeah.
And I have to go get my underoos and sit on my couch. Because that's probably how this day is going to go. I haven't watched Red Zone one time all year. I need to change that today with Tank down in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Full PPR, pick one: Gus, Justice Hill, or Jaylen Warren.
Jaylen Warren.
Somebody has to run the ball for Baltimore, but against Cleveland, I really don't like it. I'm going to go with you. It's Jaylen Warren. Alex Majabi, is Von Miller back, or is that next week? That would be next week. He's not eligible to come off the PUP list until Monday or Tuesday.
Yes, 4 weeks.
But he was back at practice.
Yeah.
So he should be back next week. Quentin Johnston or
Pickens?
Gage Camplin said he played against Claypool in high school. He and his brother had 7 touchdowns. Too bad he likes TikTok more than football. That is true. He also likes wearing weird fashion things more than football. Speaking of that, did you happen to see Cam Newton at the Georgia-Auburn game yesterday?
I didn't.
He looks more and more like Willy Wonka by the day.
I'm not surprised.
That dude looks like he is going to start a candy factory that eats the people that visit it.
Yeah, he's going full villain arc.
He's just a full weirdman, and he's odd. He's an odd dude.
An odd feller, yeah.
Quentin Johnston or George Pickens in the flex?
Pickens.
I would agree. Josh Palmer or Quentin Johnston in the flex?
Josh Palmer.
Josh Palmer. Superflex, DTR, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Which one sits?
Mac.
I would agree, and I think it's by a lot. I like DTR today. I think he's a good play in DraftKings. And I think he's a play in season long. If you were killed at quarterback, and look, he's got a really safe floor because he's going to run. It's just a question of how much is he going to run and how much is he going to throw.
He's going to run for his goddamn life.
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie to you. And now look, I saw him up close and personal in the first preseason game. They played 4.
Yep.
He didn't look. He looked very raw as a passer, much like Armchair said. Let's see. Andrea, Javonte Williams, Nico Collins, half PPR. I'll go Nico Collins.
I love me some Nico Collins.
I don't love him. I think Tank Dell is the receiver I want in Houston, but I love Nico Collins more than Javonte Williams.
Yep.
I don't believe much in Javonte Williams. Jason Trump doing the Lord's work. If you want to be a member of the House of Reprehensibles, get that lovely little beer mug next to your logo and a free super chat every month. Feel free to click that logo right there, or that little link right there, to become a member of the House of Reprehensibles. We will be unveiling new things with the Patreon tomorrow. So we started talking about this. You guys voiced some opinions. We heard them, and now we are scheduling them, and there will be. Everybody has asked for an uncensored political show. Everybody has asked for an uncensored sports show. They will all be rolled up into one that we're going to do every week for Patreon subscribers. Haven't figured out yet what day we're going to come out with that. We will have a date and time on that by the show tomorrow. And there's some other things that go into it. And yeah, it's things just keep progressing. Everybody's wanted us to do like that Joe Rogan type show where we can just say anything we want to. Well, we're gonna do that. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna do it in an election year, which is there'll be a hoot.
My favorite TV show.
Yeah. Do what? The U.S. presidential election's your favorite reality show?
I listen. So we have our own issues, but there is nothing quite like watching American A fight with American B over which one of them gets to make them spend all their money, and it's just, to me, it's hilarious. I'm a Freeman. I don't subscribe to it, and it is what it is. But I find it hilarious.
Well, I will. I'll give you a little. I'll give you a little preview of what that political show is going to sound like, because Tank is the lifelong politicalman, and I am the one with actual political aspirations, because I do want to run for office. And I am very much of the belief, why do we have to have 2 pea-soaked lamb chop puppets with individual hands up their ass running for political office every single time we do this? And you have to decide between which dirty diaper smells worse. I'll never understand that as long as I live. But that's where we're at. A couple more questions. YouTube chat, Flex PPR, Joe Mixon, Michael Thomas, Jacoby Myers.
Myers.
I want to say Jacoby Myers. I don't love Joe Mixon.
Same, but I don't like it today.
I don't like it as much with O'Connell, because I don't know who he's got the rapport with.
Yeah.
If it was Garoppolo, I'd be all over Myers. I think he has the highest upside. Joe Mixon probably has the highest touchdown upside. Yeah. Michael Thomas, I just don't know what Derek Carr is. I don't know where he's at. Yeah. Danny Fence fan, 2 running backs and a flex. Pacheco, Najee Harris, Cortland Sutton, Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson, Jahan Dotson, Cam Akers. Running backs, I'll go Pacheco, Roschon Johnson.
Yeah.
And then the flex, you know what, I'm going to go Najee Harris. I didn't like sitting Najee in the first place. I'm out on Khalil Herbert. Roschon Johnson has clearly passed him to me. And that's gone exactly how I told you it would. The Bears running back situation was going to sort itself out, and one of them was going to be fantasy relevant. It was just a question of, did you have the other two? Well, now Deontay Foreman is completely irrelevant. I would still hold on to him because there's a chance they trade him. And Khalil Herbert's only relevant if Roschon Johnson gets hurt.
I'm gonna be a little spicy. I'm gonna go Najee, Roschon, and Cortland Sutton just for kicks.
Indeed. Cortland Sutton would have been my 4, to be clear. Yeah. Kevin the PRF said political show makes people dislike people for stupid reasons. I don't think this one will, but it might. Because I'm not. Everybody thinks I'm one thing, and I'm really not. I hate them all, and so for me, it's going to be kind of like Rogan, where no, I'm just really calling out your stupidity and making jokes of it.
You want to be a dumb man? Let me tell you how.
Bingo.
Jeremy, that's what you need to know about Jeremy. Jeremy is also an honest man.
I am an honest man.
He will tell you exactly what he's thinking and why he's thinking it, and it has little to do with donkeys or elephants.
100%. They're dumb shits in red and blue and purple. So it all works. Trump said, let's get you on the next ballot. I'm trying. I'm trying to get my wife on board with this because she's very not. Yeah. Would you take Hal this week based on matchups? No. No. He said even though Bryce hasn't been great, would you take I can't believe he meant Sam Howell there. He's playing the best defense in the league. There was a part of me that wanted to take Bryce, but I can't get on board with it.
Can't do it.
Minnesota sucks defensively, but I don't think they suck enough to make Bryce Young a thing this week.
No.
All right, armchair. That's 3 hours of goodness.
We did it.
We did all the things. I think we answered all the questions. And now it's time for us to go make lineups. You got a final thought on the way out, my Canadian friend?
Shout out to my Toronto Blue Jays who backed in the most Canadian way to MLB playoff spot. I know we don't talk baseball, but they lost and still made the playoffs. It's how Canadian. Sorry we made the playoffs, eh?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make the playoffs, but we didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but someone had to lose, and sorry.
That's love that.
I want to. We'll talk, but I do have I have ideas I need to run by.
Indeed. I love ideas. All right, Ben Mullet Man, Canadian, all the fantasy goodness. We're right here every Sunday morning. We'll be back next Sunday again with an early start and 3 hours of fantasy goodness because we have to do all the London games repeatedly 4 weeks in a row. Don't ask me why. They didn't ask me. But we'll be here for it, and we'll be live tomorrow noon. Tank's back from Charlotte. I'm sure he'll have stories of tomfoolery and the Carolina Panthers. We'll see you then.